Hi, I'm Janice from Treble Tree Music. I'm a veteran music teacher sharing some of the tricks of the trade that I've learned over my years of teaching at all grade levels, and hoping some of my resources and organizational ideas will help make your school year a little bit easier. I've created some resources called Elementary Music Vocabulary Activities in order to make your organization and assessment and practice and planning easier in the elementary music classroom. These resources are kinder through fifth grade, could also be used preschool and also sixth grade. As an elementary music teacher, it's essential to have a well organized plan to introduce vocabulary, music concepts, and assessment activities throughout the school year for kindergarten through fifth grade. It is not uncommon to arrive at a new school, either as a veteran teacher or a new teacher, to not have all of the resources that you need to be successful. Oftentimes a school district will not have adopted curriculum for the music or PE even, but they will for the classroom teachers. And it's about money, it's about finances. Music takes a behind the scenes step. The challenge for an elementary music teacher, just like me, is to be able to teach all of the concepts and vocabulary along with all those engaging music activities and to sometimes sixth grade levels and as many as 12 to 14 classes. Many of my assignments have been K through 12, and organizing that widespread of grades is also an additional challenge. Maybe you're one of the ones that has experienced this as well. Another variable is that every music school schedule can vary from seeing the students once a week or several times a week. The challenge for an elementary music teacher, just like me, is to be able to teach all of the concepts and vocabulary along with all those engaging music or even every day. And if you have curriculum sitting on a shelf, I encourage you to look at that curriculum and see how it's lined out. You may find that that's very helpful. If you don't already have a curriculum, you may find some of these activities a help to get started with organization for vocabulary learning in the music classroom. Suppose you are a new or veteran elementary music teacher looking for more curriculum planning suggestions. If this is you, you might find that the resource I created called a concept flowchart for kinder through fifth helpful, which has suggestions for broad activities for each calendar month of the school year. The concept flowchart includes suggestions for grade level vocabulary and music activities for each month. If you already have a curriculum, the concept flowchart can be an additional resource for ideas when to introduce other elements such as composers and instruments for each grade level. I created a series of elementary music vocabulary activities to work alongside the flowchart planning to reinforce the introduction of grade level music vocabulary. Organized by month, these resources for each grade level can be used as a standalone resource or in conjunction with your current curriculum. The worksheets are perfect for pre assessment, practice assessment, and final assessment. The music vocabulary worksheet activities include definitions for kinder through fifth, word searches for kinder through fifth, matching for kinder through fifth, tracing for kinder and first. Okay, let's get started and let's talk how to use these resources to help you organize your teaching resources and activities in the music classroom. Grade level vocabulary and definition activities. They are perfect practice for reinforcement of elementary music vocabulary. Each grade level has a curated music vocabulary list that is tailored to the appropriate reading level for that grade level, making it easy for students to grasp essential music terms. Each grade level resource can also be used for differentiation at nearby grade levels. As you all know, as an elementary music teacher, it's essential to have a well organized plan to introduce definitions, music concepts, and assessment activities throughout the school year for kinder through fifth grade. And that's the purpose of these activities that I've created. The vocabulary matching activities can be used as a pre assessment. We're always looking for assessment for our vocabulary terms. The vocabulary activities, such as the matching, can be used as a pre assessment. Begin the month with a word matching activity or even a definition sheet to gauge the student's prior knowledge. You can use the vocabulary activities as a reinforcement of their learning and to continue to measure the vocabulary understanding. Vocabulary activities, you could use one as the matching at the beginning, or you could use the word search at the very beginning as a pre assessment. And these activities would also serve as a final assessment at the end of the month to double check where they are in their vocabulary and understanding. Each vocabulary resource includes a teacher copy of the monthly vocabulary and definitions and the grade level concept flowchart. The flowchart is a valuable tool for planning along with vocabulary concepts, especially again if you don't already have your own curriculum that you've acquired as you got to your new school, or maybe you're trying to add some more to your current curriculum. Remember that the concept flowchart outlines a month by month roadmap for classroom singing, Kodai, solfege, orff instrument use, links to vocal warm ups, and the introduction of classroom instruments and composers. It can be a valuable tool for when to implement all of the vocabulary words as well. Keep in mind that the vocabulary words are arranged already in the concept flowchart by month. You certainly could change the month if you wanted to introduce other concepts before another, but it just gives you a roadmap, at least someplace to start in case you don't have any resources or you want some additional ideas. Okay, let's talk about how to use this resource. When you're sitting down planning your lessons, refer to the concept flowchart for guidance on introducing the vocabulary and concepts. Make choices about whether or not you want to follow that strictly or alter it slightly. Following the plan on the concept flowchart, as well as when you're introducing your concepts and your vocabulary, is going to ensure that you cover the curriculum and meet learning goals throughout the year. As we both know, with so many classes and so many students, once in a while we lose track of, did I introduce that concept? Oh, yes, yes, of course I did that back in September, and now it's March. It's a nice way to track your teaching. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those, if I don't have everything organized, I get a little befuddled, I get a little nervous and scattered, and then I get anxious. If you're one of those people, then here are some things that I did for these resources that you might find helpful as I did. All the vocabulary resources are color coded and pages are numbered by grade level. We know that when we're seeing multiple classes and multiple grade levels, any kind of additional organizational help is necessary. Each resource page shows the vocabulary grade level and page number for the month of introduction. So, for example, 1 is September and it might be K-1 and that would be Kinder-1. And then in addition to that, I've color coded the Kinder materials orange just so we have some way to delineate what resources are we using. It really helps when you've given an assessment, you've given the whole class, and maybe you've seen back-to-back classes over several hours throughout the day, and you can easily see the grade level and the number of the assessment on the bottom of the resources. Even though I've color coded, you know as well as I do, colored ink at a public school or any kind of school is a difficult go. And certainly we don't want to pay out of pocket for color coding our worksheets. But if you're one of those lucky ones that wants to go the distance with that, I've got you covered. At every grade level, as I said before, it has a color coded activity and it perfectly aligns with each month's vocabulary and musical concepts. That will help you to make sure that you've covered all of the vocabulary and the concepts that you want to cover throughout the year. I chose some random colors that I was used to. You can make your colors, you can change your colors if you want to, or just keep it the same. Fifth grade, I color coded blue, fourth, purple, third, red, second, yellow, first, green, kindergarten, orange. It really helped me to be able to color code my lesson plans or to make a notation on assessments. Keep all materials for each grade organized by color to streamline your preparation significantly when changing classes or grades. I'd recommend putting all of the originals into a notebook have those ready to go. Some people prefer to do file folders. You have to do what's easiest for you. Use the resources for a pre assessment. Start with tracing or matching activities to measure the initial understanding. Then practice and incorporate your own activities throughout the month for consistent practice on those vocabulary words. Final assessment, you can use a final matching or vocabulary practice to measure the progress at the end of each month. Following the concept flowchart map to introduce different composers, vocabulary, musical concepts will ensure you stay organized throughout the year. At the end of the year, reassess what you want to change. Try not to make so many changes in the moment or through the year, but get through a whole year of testing out new organizational. I hope following these strategies will help keep your elementary music classroom more organized and efficient. Be sure to reward yourself with maybe a little cup of coffee or tea and a little something sweet when you sit down to do your planning. We need to encourage ourselves to get that organization down.